you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Good morning. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay and Big E is here. How are you, my friend?
I'm quite well.
Yes.
Mike, thank you for having me.
Have it no other way.
E, it's a pleasure.
And
as
an honor.
always.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The pleasure, as they say, is all mine, guys.
Well, welcome to the show, everybody. A lot to get to today. I won't even ask what our happenings were because we were just here.
Just here. Yeah.
Not that long ago.
I went to sleep for a little while.
Yes,
and then I drove back.
I haven't seen the season finale yet of The Walking Dead, which I'd like to do at some point today.
I feel like that just began. How's that possible? How many episodes?
I think they do. I think they split it up into
little chunks.
First half of the season, and then they wait 4 months and then do the second half of the season. So they're like 7 or 8 episodes long. So I'm excited for that. It was an hour and a half last night, so I haven't seen it yet, but excited for that. And then tomorrow night is the finale of the OJ series.
Do you care about the national championship tonight?
Not terribly. I don't know. I'm assuming my pool is dead, but
say who's in it again, E.
Villanova and
Very
North
good.
Carolina.
He usually says Villanueva.
I wonder if you are you cheering for one team over the other for the Walters to beat Walters, or did the dog tell you about this?
No.
Walters 1 and 2 are tied for, I think, like 52nd or something.
With nobody else. It's just Walters 1 and 2 tied. You're
Really?
tied with yourself.
Well,
and only yourself for a horrible position.
Yeah. Who's winning? Do we know who's winning?
I don't remember. Kadog pulled it up yesterday. I think out of the 4 of us, though, Kadog is in front.
Oh, that's why he pulled it up.
Followed by me, then E, then you, I think.
Yeah. I went out on
that,
a limb
or
this
were you
year.
last?
But yeah, I'm actually not last, but I don't know how. There must have been some bad pools, man, because I don't even know if I had a Final Four team.
So there's virtually no chance of me winning the autographed Detroit Cast T-shirt as it stands today.
You know what? I'd be willing to give you an autograph, though, if you ask. I'm not going to Pam Anderson you.
I appreciate that. But as far as like winning one outright, as the rules stipulated, it's not looking good for me.
Not going to happen, Mike.
What if like the first 51 people expire in the next 24 hours? Would I then be
Probably not.
Yeah. So anyway, we wanted to announce last night, but we had to tweak some things. This is going to sound ridiculous, but the soundboard we put up, I don't know, a year ago, it's part of a Kickstarter reward, right?
It was one of the Kickstarter rewards, and I don't think it was ever. Was it on the website? Was it just hidden?
It was hidden. It was hidden. But some people out there have it through the Kickstarter reward. Kadog put together this at the time beautiful.
Well, it still is, Mike.
Yeah, soundboard and screensaver. It's kind of both in one, 2 in 1.
Yeah, if you go to DetroitCast.com on the right side, I think underneath the Amazon link, that area, you'll see your ability to download the screensaver.
Mm-hmm.
Then when the screensaver comes on, we've got, I think, a couple different.
Yeah, there's like the TDC shield that swims around the page.
And then the main logo. It switches out from those two. If you type TDC during the screensaver, it'll take you to a soundboard that Kadog created.
And it'll take you to our image. It's really cool. It fades to a picture of all of us, and then it morphs into the soundboard.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just a bunch of now keep in mind, this is from a year ago or whatever. So it's not like super updated. We could probably update some of the phrases, but
maybe add, look at that wee witch.
Look at that wee witch. We will have an update on coming up shortly. But so there's probably some things, but you want to play some samples of what's on there, Jay?
K-Dog is an asshole.
So that made
fingers crossed. Look at my dick! Look at my dick! Look at my dick!
Great.
So maybe not completely safe for work and should have headphones on, but
I guess we'll have to disagree to agree. Jesus Christ, it's freezing in here. Jesus Christ, it's freezing in here. Anyone else feel a chill in the air? It's freezing.
Okay,
Mom, bring the mop!
Nana won't stop stinksing. I think she's bleeding out.
Go back to the
Sexual Congress. Hashtag knock that shit off. Here's a little bit of E.
Whatever, dude. I don't fucking know.
the recording process
Or whatever. I don't know.
Getting E to do this shit was. Do you remember that?
Yes.
What a pain in the ass it was. I think one of your altercations with him made it into. And this is absolutely legit. This was not scripted. This is how this went down in the studio when we recorded this because E can't act.
No.
So
it's like, dude, just say or whatever. And it becomes this big issue for like 5 minutes.
I need to be in the moment or whatever the hell he said at the time.
So
like an asshole.
Here's one of those examples. Finish your thought, you son of a bitch.
What was it? Or whatever. See, like, I gotta be saying something and then say or whatever. I can't just say or whatever.
Dude, it's your fucking famous line. You're going to go down in history as the or whatever guy. Fucking say or whatever. It's your line, man.
Back when Jay would say the F word, too.
That's how we deal with E every day.
Yeah.
What'd you do to her, you sick son of a bitch?
Where's Holy, you son of a bitch?
Yeah, I haven't thought about your cousin Holy, who you killed 5 years ago or whatever that was.
Yeah.
Hot topic.
There's another one I like from
I'm just saying, I think a goat would rather be raped than punched in the face.
Why?
Because he doesn't want, he doesn't want to be punched in the face, but he might want to be raped.
So you too can have this soundboard, this fun little soundboard on your computer.
Yeah.
Just go to DetroitCast.com.
And you'll see it there. It's very cool. We were talking last night about the GNR show that happened over the weekend at the Troubadour in Los Angeles, and we've gotten some more, a little more information than we had last night when we were talking about it. But a ton of celebrities were at that show.
Oh yeah,
yeah. As you can imagine, who wouldn't want to be at that show? There can't be more than when you hear about those clubs, the Troubadour, the Whiskey A Go Go, the Roxy, the Rainbow. They're like what you would think of as little dive bars. I mean, they're tiny little clubs. They're not like the Whiskey A Go Go is a shithole. You go in there and it's just like a wooden stage and like a little floor.
How about CBGB's? I heard Vanilla Ice once played there.
I've heard that as well.
I also heard they have a satellite location at the New Jersey airport. Is that right?
Yes, they do.
So we'd be talking about the original, I think.
The original in New York.
I wonder if there's concerts. Do they do concerts at this airport bar? Like, are there random performances by a Green Day or something?
Isn't that sad?
No, but you can stop by and get a turkey wrap.
$15 probably turkey wrap.
I was watching a special, might have been on Netflix, about like the star or the kind of the grunge era scene in Seattle and Sub Pop Records, and they were bummed. Like one of the guys that was in one of the bands that like works at the Sub Pop store at the airport in Seattle, and then they sell like you can buy the Bleach album and you can buy T-shirts and mugs and keychains with the Sub Pop logo. It's just like, here's this dude kind of running the Sub Pop store in the airport. Oof,
the mighty have fallen.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, they did that gig. Kate Hudson was there. Bradley Cooper, of course, brought his mom. Can Bradley Cooper go anywhere without his mom?
Oh, I forgot about that whole thing. Yeah.
That's so weird. Like he brings her to the Oscars. Like that got to be a trending thing for a few years. It seemed like
some of those guys were doing that, like Ben Affleck or Matt Damon
and Ben Affleck. I thought didn't both of them bring their mothers?
They won Good Will Hunting.
Yeah. Which I guess is the first time through. But after
first time through, you do that and you make news and you look like a great guy.
Right.
Come on.
But I think a lot of these guys, I'm bringing my Nana and I'm bringing my mommy. You would think after 10 years in the business, you'd stop bringing mommy to those events. But whatever. He brought his mommy to the Guns N' Roses show at the Troubadour. Seems weird. Emily Ratajkowski, who's that? Why don't I know that name? They're acting like that's a big celebrity. I feel like I should know that name. Lenny Kravitz was there. Michelle Rodriguez, wasn't she the girl on Lost that got into some trouble? Kind of known as a bitch.
Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You'd remember her.
She was sitting at the LA Lakers game with her girlfriend or something and was being a bitch somehow.
Yeah. You watched Lost. Do you remember
the
her
last
from
couple seasons? Yeah. I think I'd remember this chick for sure.
Chris Brown was there of all people. Jim Carrey, Nick Cage. They had like a VIP balcony overlooking that these people were all sitting at.
Yeah, she was Ana Lucia Cortez.
That's right. That's right. I'm trying to remember what her plot line was. I can't.
Boy, I remember the face. I don't remember the plot line.
Yeah.
There were only 89 plot lines on that show.
Yeah. So the tour officially kicks off, officially in Vegas on Friday, April 8th.
Mm-hmm.
And
then they do Coachella.
And then they do
April 20
Coachella,
something.
which they're billing as the not in this lifetime tour. So obviously one of them at some point said, well there'll be a Guns N' Roses reunion.
Not in this lifetime.
Not in this lifetime. So, when hell freezes over, you think of the Eagles. When hell freezes over, will the Eagles ever get reunited?
When hell freezes over.
Yeah, what do you know? 5 years later, when hell freezes over, world tour.
Everybody needed a little cash.
Yeah.
Hell froze over.
So the not in this lifetime tour is what they're billing it as. So they'll do Coachella later this month, and then the North American dates were announced a week ago. We knew Detroit was on the list. We finally found out over the weekend that it was going to be at Ford Field, which we were speculating about. Well, they couldn't do it at the Palace. Will it be at Comerica or?
Yeah,
Ford
we were kind of
Field?
like, is it big enough to fill Ford Field? And I think we both concluded, probably.
Yeah.
It's kind of like getting Zeppelin back. I mean, I know that's crazy to say that, but it kind of is.
It is with the original lineup.
Yeah.
I mean, and when I was saying, when I saw Guns N' Roses in 2012, they filled the Palace without Slash and Duff and those guys. But that North American tour dates, they're Detroit it turns out is the first date.
That's sweet.
Yeah, so June 23rd, which is good. I'd be worried if it was towards the end of that, because if things aren't going well with that band.
Do you want a couple in though? Do you want to be like the third maybe, so they work some kinks out? I guess you are kind of.
Yeah, with Vegas and Coachella, and they sounded good at the Troubadour. I imagine that'll be good.
But I agree with you. You do not want to be on the tail end of that.
Yeah,
especially if Axl's singing for AC/DC too.
Yeah, right.
Like the rumors say.
So when you look at the Glendale, Arizona show, the Seattle show, San Francisco, San Diego, all at the end of mid to end of August, it's like, ooh, crapshoot whether or not they're holding that thing together. Which I know sounds funny when you're like, what? These guys can't hold it together for a couple months. Well, look at Van Halen. Van Halen struggled. Like you saw that tour, and then they got overseas, and all of a sudden there's some problems, and the tour's canceled, and you're like, huh? And there's so much money on the line. So yeah, it's going to be June 23rd at Ford Field.
Do we know who's opening?
I don't know that they've said yet. I haven't seen anything. AC/DC is the thing I keep hearing thrown around, which would, I suppose you could do that. I don't know. Tickets for that. What do you think tickets are going for?
No idea.
$50 to $250.
I'm shocked that there's a $50 ticket. I know it's going to be way up there, but I thought why not just make, if you're them, why not make them all 100 and plus or whatever? But
yeah, you probably could. They do have, so tickets for that show are going on sale on Friday to the general public. They've got a couple. There's a Night Train fan club or whatever, and a lot of these Pearl Jam does this every tour where they let fan club members get early access, and there's some credit card company that's got access to a limited number of tickets over starting today through Thursday, and then the general public can buy tickets on Friday for that. The exact band lineup still has not been
you can go ahead and reserve your U-Haul anytime though.
Yeah, which you're going to want to do in advance.
Business right now.
Yes.
Give a call. You're
going to want to do that in advance. You don't want to get to June 20th or so and try to reserve your U-Haul. I mean, they'll be gone. Yeah. The lineup has not been confirmed outside of Axl, Slash, and Duff at this point. Obviously, Dizzy and some of those guys. But the Izzy Stradler and Steven Adler, they said, didn't originally look like they'd be a part of it. But Steven Adler has a band that was supposed to play on the same night as GNR. I think he was playing the Whiskey A Go-Go with his band.
Shut up. So he played with his band instead?
He didn't. He abruptly canceled that gig. And the venue tweeted, stay tuned for a big announcement, hashtag Guns N' Roses. So now there's speculation that he's going to be somehow a part of this GNR deal, which would be great.
Would it?
Yes, it would. They're asking for anywhere between $3 million and $5 million a show is what they're expecting to take.
Good for them, man.
Fuck. Can you imagine that? Could you imagine us making $3 to $5 million a show? How awesome would that be?
They're Guns N' Roses, man. They should. And how many sites are on that? Only like a dozen, right?
There's Detroit, Washington, Kansas City, Chicago, Cincinnati, Nashville, Pittsburgh, Philly, Toronto, Foxborough, East Rutherford, New Jersey, Atlanta, Orlando, New Orleans, Arlington, Houston,
Shit.
San Fran, Seattle, Glendale, and San Diego. It doesn't look like any dual dates. I suppose.
Like 20 shows or something.
Yeah. And then Detroit gets it first. So,
Nice.
yeah. Excited, friends. I'm excited for that. There you go, Jay.
Hey, we got to tell you about our buddy David Helm. This segment is brought to you by Helm Law. Helm Law is a full-service law firm built on the model of providing the best legal services to its clients throughout Michigan. It represents clients in a wide range of cases, including family law and divorce, civil litigation, estate planning, and criminal defense. So whether you're leaving your children in the car or your spouse is refusing to put out, call Helm Law at 248-679-8804 or go online at helmlawpc.com. They offer free consultations. If you tell them you support the Detroit Cast, you'll get 15% off.
The 15-year-old girl, Katie Lynn Kenfield, is the first teen to be tried and convicted of the abduction of Hazel Abel.
Well, the dirt face, of course, was real scary.
That Hazel Abel. The great-grandnana, of 16-year-old Dylan Martin. Just to refresh people's memory, Abel was kidnapped by her own teenage great-grandson and driven more than 200 miles in the trunk of her own car.
I screamed, but nobody heard me.
Abel,
They put me down in the floor, and then one of them sat on me.
Abel, of course, did not know her kidnappers at the time, and that was a 6-hour ordeal. Can you imagine? She was driven around for 6 hours in that damn
They
trunk.
tied my hands and put a gag in my mouth.
What kind of car was it again?
It was
It's a 2001 Neon.
That's right. She was grabbed from her doorstep on November 2nd. We all remember how that went down. They discussed killing her. Remember that? They were going to light the car on fire. Kenfield, the chick was 14 at the time of the abduction. She was charged and convicted in juvie court. She also faced was found guilty of second-degree theft of a vehicle. In delivering the verdict, Kenfield's attorneys asked for the decision to be written rather than read aloud in the court. The judge was like, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. And this guy's like, this is part of why this country is going to hell in a handbasket. We Kardashianize everything. He was pissed off about the court's decision. Why? I don't know why he would think that they wouldn't. I don't know what that has to do with Kardashianizing anything, but the teens used one of Abel's aprons to cover her head before they shoved her and her dog Tessa into the trunk and drove to the Portland area.
They mentioned the dirt facing?
Gingham in her face.
I think they do. I don't know how he could do that to me, Hazel Abel said in court.
God, we got to get a transcript of that testimony, huh?
Yeah.
Well, the dirt face, of course, was real scary.
We walked her off the plank into saying dirt face, by the way. You know, that was not that's not an actual term. Dirt facing is not a thing.
It is now.
It is now, and she acknowledged it. I mean, Hazel Abel herself said that the dirt face was real scary.
The only two I know of are the monkey that got dirt faced off the back of the motorbike and Hazel Abel.
Yes. I had told Dylan that I love him and things, but I guess that doesn't matter, Abel
Poor
said.
lady.
She said,
Well, I'm 86 years old. What do you want with me?
Did she say that in the trial?
no, but she did say she's been praying she was praying that her assailants would run out of gas because she was convinced they were planning to kill me.
In her practical little granny pants in the back.
Yes.
Laying there with Tessa, her dog.
I had no idea where I was, where they were going to take me, and what they were going to do once they got me there because I felt like they would kill me.
She wet herself, too.
Oh, yeah, she did. I didn't realize they'd taken a butcher knife with them, too. Yes. This could have been a totally different story. They drove her all the way to Portland. She was able to escape at the Walmart where she wet herself, you know, as you mentioned.
They were nice. They gave her some pants.
They did. They fed her, too, like a stray dog or a wee witch. They fed her.
A picture of her leaning over for a water bottle like the wee witch.
Getting
taking a little sip.
Martin and his friends will be tried as adults due to the serious nature of the crimes. Martin, along with his friend Billy Underwood, that son of a bitch, appeared in court last week on suspicion of first and second degree kidnapping, robbery, joyriding, and reckless endangering.
Doesn't Billy Underwood just sound like a dick, like a punk?
Yeah.
To do a dirt face and Nana. No,
yeah,
it's Billy Underwood.
He's the kid like in your neighborhood when you were growing up. Like everybody avoided Billy Underwood.
Yeah.
Nobody. He was in the corner house, kind of at the outskirts of your subdivision, and it was like fucking Billy Underwood.
The lawn was probably pretty well kept, I'm guessing.
He used to throw rocks at cars.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dick.
Yeah, he was the guy, like, you'd walk an extra block and a half around the other way to avoid going by Billy Underwood's house.
Yeah, he rode a mongoose for sure with
Yeah.
mag wheels.
He had a dirt bike too.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was one of those, kids,
mini
like,
bikes,
yeah, the little mini bike. Billy Underwood would have a mini bike.
cigarette hanging out of his mouth.
At 12.
Yeah.
Investigators heard confessions from Martin and Underwood that said they'd considered killing Abel and setting fire to the car with her body inside. They considered also releasing her 3 miles into the canyon or knocking her unconscious before she was able to free herself. Kenfield, the chick, told police the friends wanted to run away to Portland, and so Martin suggested that they steal the great Nana's car. She claimed the boys had kidnapped Abel while she waited outside. She claimed she helped put the apron over the victim's head and tied her hands as Martin.
Well, the dirt face, of course, was real scary.
They say threw dirt in her face. I don't know.
I think they got the chronology mixed up. He dirt faced her ass, pushed her to the ground.
You're right. Underwood claimed. Billy Underwood. Yeah, leave it to Billy Underwood. Billy Underwood dirt faced Nana.
Of course he did.
So all this was over a piece of ass in the end. Like, this chick wanted to run away to Portland, and these guys are like, okay, we'll steal Nana's car.
Jeez.
And that's where it started.
Well, it was a lot of information that I hadn't had.
I love it. I love that Nana voice.
Nana.
It's the best Nana voice ever.
I think you guys need to find something to do with your time.
Abel's ordeal began at 8 o'clock in the evening, November 2nd. Do you remember what she was getting ready to do?
Dancing with the Stars.
She was getting ready to watch Dancing with the Stars. As soon as she opened the door, someone threw dirt in her face, covered her eyes and mouth and hands, and pushed her to the ground, which is why she obviously wasn't able to identify them.
They put me down in the floor, and then one of them sat on me.
Now,
They tied my hands and put a gag in my mouth.
Poor Diesel.
For full context and full disclosure here on the show, Jay and I have tried numerous times over the last couple months to get one Ms. Octogenarian Hazel Abel back on the phone.
I'm frankly happy to hear that this testimony occurred because we were worried.
Yeah, we were starting to think, like, should we do what do they call that? The checkup?
Yeah, welfare check.
Yeah, we were thinking about sending the cops over there to do a welfare check to make sure.
I'm picturing like a mummified Hazel with Tessa nibbling at her toes.
Well, if she had a cat, I'd be more worried about that. I think the dog would sit there and die with her. But yeah, so we're gonna have to try to call her again. I really want to get her. I don't know if she recognizes our phone number and won't answer the phone. We had such fun with her, but you came on so strong.
I did, a little strong.
I
told her I loved her.
You declared that you loved her. I mean, it was kind of dead. She was probably like, ugh, gross. The last thing I need is this dude in Detroit who loves me wanting to.
But I do.
Adopt.
I
You
do,
wanted to
for the record.
adopt her.
I do.
You can't adopt an 88-year-old woman.
Why
Can't do
not?
it. Well, you just can't. I suppose anything's possible.
My
but
nanas are dead. I want a new one.
Yeah.
And she's perfect.
I know. It pisses us off because both of our nanas, sorry for your loss, but first off,
You
Jay,
too.
let me get that
You
on the
too.
record. Thank you. I appreciate that. But seeing someone like E so selfishly flaunt the fact that he's got this nana and he doesn't even act like
Doesn't
he gives a
appreciate
shit.
her.
Yeah, you will one day when she's no longer with us, E. You'll appreciate what that nana meant in your life.
Mm-hmm.
I do appreciate what she meant when she was
Yeah.
a relevant human being.
Oh, E. You're going to miss her shuffling about with her curlers in her hair and her walker.
Yeah.
Screaming, "Where's my razor?"
Miss hearing
From
that
downstairs.
gentle slide of the tennis balls going across the wood floor.
Do they get really weathered on the underside of them?
Well, you have to change them out, don't you?
I swear to God, there's always like, it does seem to be like a lot of times when I'm trying to go up from the basement, it's like every time, like most of the time she's not in the way, but when I'm in a hurry, it's like, I got to get going here. Now I'll hear that she's walking by the door and I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's go. And I'm looking through the creeks and you see the hands and just,
On the walker?
yeah. And I'm just like, Grandma, I got to go. God. Like it's never when I'm
How
not in a
long
hurry.
does it take?
Sounds like a fire hazard to me.
Is this like a 5-second ordeal that you're hung up on?
It'll not like, I mean, it might be like a full minute to like cross the door. Like, from,
Yeah.
Really? That's
Maybe-
a fire hazard right there.
maybe
I'm
it's-
worried about E.
maybe it seems
Yeah.
like, oh, we have windows down there. I could get out
He
if I
could,
needed to.
if he had to, he'd toss her so fast
Yeah.
out of the way. I
Just
mean,
blow that door open. Just bam!
while it is a fire hazard, he could get her out of the way if
Oh
need be.
yeah, it'd be
In a
possible.
rush to save himself. There's no doubt.
Yeah, and I would.
That is frustrating. I'll tell you. I've been on many an airplane. You know when they start discarding seat, the right side, left side.
Yes.
And you get to that point where it's like now you're stuck and you're facing the other aisle, and it's like, all right, am I going to be a gentleman here and allow them to go first? And occasionally you'll run into that just slow poke, and it's like,
Right.
oh, I could have been off this plane
Yeah.
by now.
Right.
Where you give them the little nod, like, no,
No, after you, please.
I will-
thank you. And then they
Yeah.
start gathering their belongings.
Yeah.
God, we've been taxiing her to the freaking gate for 20 minutes.
Yes.
You're just now gathering the shit out of your seat
Ugh.
pocket.
Ugh. It's like I could so easily just scoot by her and be gone. in a
Right.
blaze.
Right.
So yeah, I
Ugh.
feel you. E. I feel you.
Hey, remember, if you're a young, attractive female teacher who is eager to brighten her students' future, or if you've been injured at the Fady Manor and are looking to cash in, call Helm Law at 248-679-8804 or go online at helmlawpc.com to set up your free consultation. Tell them you support the Detroit Cast and you'll get 15% off.
Look at that wee witch.
Yeah, he's not a witch. He's a cute little guy, though.
He's absolutely a witch. He's
Speaking
the
of
wee witch.
people I want to adopt, what's going on with the witch?
Well, he's doing better. There was an update that went around over the weekend that says this wee witch is doing much, much better now.
It's amazing what food and water will do, isn't it? You see how pudgy this little guy is now?
Yeah. Well, it's probably that Red Bull he's holding.
Yeah.
He's got that Red Bull. It's like spinach to Popeye. It's firing him up. The picture they talk about, that went viral of this aid worker broke hearts across the internet, as it broke ours. I mean, you literally wanted to adopt
Yes.
this thing.
This kid, not this thing.
Yeah, the witch,
Person.
this wee witch.
Person.
Yeah, the wee witch. Hope, which I think is a terrible
it's
name. You'd
stupid.
rename, you'd rebrand him, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's like when I got Babu, my cat.
Yeah,
Her name was Miss Molly.
yeah.
I think I'm gonna stick with Miss Molly. No, it's Babu. Like boom, like that. Change it. I don't give a shit.
It's funny when I got Monster, her name, some asshole at the Humane Society named her Lily. I was like, get out of here. I named her Lily.
Yeah.
Get out of here. And so I went with Monster, but still,
I think Tank was something like that too, like Lily or Molly or some shit.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
they come up with stupid cat names, don't
yeah. I mean, why would you go with Lily when you can go with Babu
they? Yeah,
or
or
Monster?
Tank.
I'm trying to think how I came to
Monster.
the name Monster.
It's just a
I thought it
little
was just that
monster.
he was kind of an asshole. I thought. That's
Well,
what,
she
I
definitely.
thought that's what it was.
You know what it was? I tried to play off the name Lily, and she
from
she
the Munsters?
from the Munsters, Lily Munster, and so I was like Lily Monster. She's a monster because she wouldn't stop. She was kind of being a dick early on,
Yeah.
and so that's why I went with that name. I think.
She's been a dick ever since.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bald bellied poops.
Had to shoo her away from my food on the counter 8 times
Yeah.
yesterday.
So that picture of the wee witch was initially published in January after Hope, aka
Starving Marvin.
wee witch, was left by his family because they thought he was in fact a witch, and that's when he was found on the streets by this Danish woman living in Africa. Now she has shared a series of photos showing the wee witch's miraculous recovery in just 8 short weeks, and says he's really enjoying life now. Back in January, she found the boy after he spent 8 months fending for himself and living off scraps.
And avoiding birds of prey and African mammals. How do you do that, man?
I don't know. Well, it helps to be a sorcerer. I would think. I mean, all he needs is his wand. He could probably take it. Dude, there's no way a 1-year-old could fend for themselves if they don't have some witchery in their blood. Seriously.
How did he live by himself? He's such a little tiny guy.
Get that poops. She found him and then started bottle feeding him, and then she took him to the hospital. When he reached the hospital, he was given meds to remove the worms from his stomach, daily blood transfusions to incorporate more red blood cells into his body. Just 8 weeks later, he's unrecognizable. I don't know if you have the photos of him. He's gained weight, and he's pictured smiling and playing with other kids. As you can see in the pictures, they say Hope is really enjoying his life now, having 35 new brothers and sisters who all take such good care of him, play with him, study with him, make sure he's safe and getting lots of love. Hope does have hypospadias. Look at that poops. Look at Hope. Look at that.
He's
wee
pudgy.
bitch.
He's pudgy. Cute little guy.
Yeah, he's the cutest witch I've ever seen. Seriously. He's got hypospadias though. You know what that means?
No.
It means that his urethra emerges somewhere on the shaft or even at the base of his penusal meat.
Didn't Hitler have this?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I don't know if this is common in witches or what.
Holy
So
shit.
if he takes a whiz, it could just be like an errant shooting off somewhere else or hitting his feet.
thumb over a garden hose situation.
Yes. But one thing they say for sure is it does not come out the tip. So his tip.
Man,
I know.
poor little guy.
Yeah, we witch.
Just had nothing to do with his abandonment. This was just something he was born with.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's gonna have surgery to fix that thing. They're gonna bore out a new hole.
Okay.
Drill him a new hole.
Put him on a drill press and just.
Miss Loven, the chick that saved him from the streets, she's been doing this for 3 years now, and she really I'd love to talk to her. She focuses especially on witches.
Yeah.
I mean, that's her game. She's like, there are so many witches that have been abandoned on the streets of Africa that
Look at him sitting in that red chair. He's just chilling out, watching the cars go by.
Are you struggling to find pictures of this son of a bitch?
Look at him, man.
Yeah, I think they need to cut back on his intake. He looks. Is that normal?
How do you feel about the proportion of his legs versus body? Were you
Yeah.
worried about that?
Yeah,
You
a little
concerned at
bit.
all?
I wasn't gonna say anything, but
Look at that wee witch. Is he reading?
yeah,
Is he reading a book?
yeah. How old is he now?
I don't know.
He had 8 months on the run,
He was ditched when he was 9 months.
so he's like
a year and a half, 2 years.
a year and a half now. He looks fairly normal.
Little witch.
Well, no can having witch.
Yeah, there's his no can.
Look at that witch with no cans.
It's not a witch, by the way, but
Well, I don't know how you would know that from 7,000 miles away, and his family wouldn't. But whatever.
We're gonna have to watch his leg length. I'm worried.
You worried specifically about the left one?
Well, I'm worried about both of them, Mike.
Yeah. There, E. Can you pop those pictures up so the world can enjoy him as well? I don't know, dude.
Think he looks all right?
Yeah,
Maybe
maybe.
it's just the way the picture's taken.
Maybe.
He's getting a haircut here. Look at him.
Yeah. Hold on. I think we can share him with the class. There's the picture you were looking at where
Yep.
he's reading his
Reading
book.
the book, learning.
Which-
The early days.
The early days. There's my canvas picture.
Here he is.
I'm getting my hair cut. Doesn't look like he needs a hair trim, but whatever. They're going
Yeah.
bald. They've decided to go bald.
Back to the early days.
Go back a few photos. Look at how much hair. I'm assuming he didn't get many haircuts. Next one to the right. Stop. I don't know how many. You would think his hair would grow more than that.
I would think malnutrition probably has a little bit
Played
to
a
do with
role.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's just rubbing it. Just rubbing it. He's got a condition.
Poor son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, those knees are knobby and no can having.
That is an unbelievable. That prior photo is unbelievable to me, man. I don't think I'll ever forget that.
Yeah.
It's that little guy leaning into that water bottle.
I will frequently I'll just randomly throughout the day, like once every couple of weeks, I'll just send Jay a picture of the wee witch on his cell phone and just say, "Look, don't forget about me. Look at this wee witch." I'll just blast him an image of the wee witch standing there with his can.
Oh man.
I don't want you to forget him either.
I'm glad he's doing well.
Yeah.
It's a great story.
Boy, there's the men's U.S. men's soccer team is stirring up some controversy this morning.
Yeah, over what Abby
Yeah.
Wambach.
Abby Wambach, yeah, the chick we were talking about her last night. She was busted for DUI. Where was that, in Portland?
Yes.
And just a few hours after that, a couple of members of the U.S. men's national team kind of made fun of her on Twitter. So Fox Soccer sent out a tweet announcing that she'd been arrested for DUI, and then Alejandro Bedoya, is that his name? Am I
Yep.
saying that right?
Yeah.
Said must have been a foreign American player's fault. And that is apparently in reference to a comment she made in December. She criticized the men's coach,
For taking on too many foreign players.
Jurgen Klinsmann,
Yep.
for taking on too many foreign players or having too many foreign guys on the roster, which that's kind of shocking that comment right there wouldn't make more headlines. I mean, that seems like something
Abby's?
yeah. that you're
Yeah, I don't
singling
remember her
out
saying that.
someone.
That's the criticism of him, though. So you've got the U.S. national team, and what Jurgen is doing is he's drawing a lot of these guys who have dual citizenship based on, like, say, a serviceman births the kid over in Germany.
Mm.
Then that kid is German, but he's also American, and so they move for him to because he's never going to be on the A team, the German national A team. Like, come on over here and have a shot. And he's done that with a few players.
Yeah,
and so I guess that's Abby's beef.
That's what she's referring to.
Yeah.
Who's Altidore?
Josie Altidore.
Josie Altidore. He then
American guy
responded and tweeted, should have used one of the team vans, LOL, in reference to Hope Solo, who was with her husband, Jeremy Stevens, in one of the national team vans.
Oh, no.
He was
some
arrested.
really bad blood
Yeah, right?
between these two teams.
So she was in the U.S. soccer van, an official U.S. soccer van, and Jeremy Stevens, wasn't she accused of getting in physical altercations with him too?
Yeah, she's been in a couple fights with her sister and brother, I think is what is currently pending.
Or nephew.
Hope Solo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that she had some party and got shitty and
beat
pissed,
up the
pissed about her roast beef machine. Who knows?
Who can blame her?
Yeah,
It's
and
an absolute disaster.
beat up
down
a
there.
couple family members, but I don't remember the thing in the van.
Yeah. So, but the men's team remembered, and they were, and then Jeremy Stevens, who was a tight end for the Seahawks, if you remember, he got a DUI for that incident. He's charged with DUI after the player's tweets faced criticism from some Twitter fans. Bedoya went on a little rant and said, "So what I'm learning now via Twitter is that some people value athletic achievement more than human life." Got it.
Oof.
And if you can dish out criticism, like make xenophobic comments, then I'm sure you can take criticism also when you mess up. I almost forgot that I have to be politically correct because I'm an athlete. We're human. Abby took full responsibility. Good. Hashtag U.S. women's national team. Wambach released a statement to her fans and family and all that shit, which is kind of the rule
standard.
of thumb. Yeah, that's the standard nowadays. You have to release that. Last night I was arrested for DUI in Portland after dinner at a friend's house. Those that know me know that I have always demanded excellence from myself. I have let myself and others down. I take full responsibility for my actions. This is all on me. I promise that I will do whatever it takes to ensure that my horrible mistake is never repeated. I am so sorry to my family, friends, fans, and those that look to follow a better example.
Yeah, another source of this consternation might be the lawsuit that the U.S. women just filed, an equal pay lawsuit. Did you hear about that a few days ago?
Yeah, I did.
Just complaining that the men get paid a certain amount, they get less.
Yeah,
when they're one of the best in the world. The women, I mean, they are right there. But then you talk about what the demand is and so forth. So
yeah, the fact is, well, I just don't know enough about that case. I imagine whatever the demand is for those athletes is what they're paid. I don't know that they would necessarily look at them and go, they're women, pay them way less. Maybe they would, but that seems crazy to me.
No, there's probably different deals that they're getting TV wise, women versus men. And
sure.
So there's different pools of cash. I don't know about it either. I just know they filed something a few days ago. So that might be on top of mind for the men. Like, yeah. And who knows how outspoken Abby was about that with them personally.
Mm-hmm. Well, it does point to some serious bad blood though. That seems like almost a cheap shot to go after like the men's and women's team. I don't know what they traditionally
you would think there's someone after they get a DUI, like
yeah.
And everybody fucks up, that's not, I don't know.
I would hope that if I got in some legal issue, you guys wouldn't tweet out immediately, like hours later, like fucking with me. Oh, that's what you get, asshole.
Yeah.
If E killed someone while texting on the road, we wouldn't.
Oh, that's a little.
I don't know that we'd jump out and be like, well, that's what you get for texting on the road. You'd just be like, I don't know.
So much more a crazy example, killing somebody, but I know what you mean.
Well, she could have killed someone,
right?
I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you're right.
Anyway, her apology sounded sincere enough, I suppose. I don't know that I didn't need that from her personally, but
no reason to question the veracity.
Yeah.
Mike, I didn't need that personally. As if you.
Well, I
better
didn't.
apologize for this DUI. Damn it.
Yeah, I need to hear what she says. Of course, she feels sorry. Probably.
Are you more sorry for getting caught, or are you more sorry for the action?
I'd be more sorry for getting caught.
Exactly.
I personally
cares.
Hey, backed by popular demand, Zott Ford's conducting its amazing Key for Key event right now. Exchange your current vehicle for a brand new 2016 Ford without spending a dime out of your pocket. Also, they may be able to match or lower your monthly payment. Zotford will assist you in terminating the remainder of your loan or lease, no matter what you owe. Plus, Zotford will make your first month's payment. So hurry, when March ends, so does Key for Key. When April ends, I mean, so does Key for Key.
Nice.
Well put. You had to leave here last night early. Well, not
I
early,
didn't have to,
but
I mean,
you wanted to
I
get to
did.
WrestleMania.
I did.
Bad.
I did.
WrestleMania 32.
Yep.
Is that what it was?
Yes, sir.
Was going on last night down at AT&T Stadium where the Cowboys play, and E was on his way. He wanted to do the show early last night and then make his way over to Burley's.
Going to Burley's. Did Burley let you in?
He
Last
did.
time we talked to him, he was like, "Yeah, you could probably watch through my window or
Right.
something."
No, I was allowed in.
Yeah,
I was allowed in. The door was locked though. Usually I can just walk right in.
just sit on the furniture.
Yeah, well, I had to sit on a chair. Unfortunately, there was only all the couch space was taken up, so I had to sit on a wood chair from the. But whatever.
So, what'd you think overall? Was it?
I missed unfortunately a few, but I haven't been watching the Raw and the SmackDowns like I used to, so I'm not really fully up on storylines as much. But it doesn't take that much to know what's going on.
Yeah,
It was good. It was a good WrestleMania with one awesome match for sure.
I heard The Rock came back.
Yeah, he's been he hasn't wrestled, and he did actually technically wrestle last night. He hasn't wrestled full time for a lot of, but he's been coming back here and there. Just he's a huge name, and he's going to draw money. You think he probably got, I don't know what he got paid just to show up for last night and do 20 minutes, but I bet it was a lot.
It'd be interesting to know that, wouldn't it?
yeah. What does the pay-per-view cost? Is it like one of those $80 things?
WrestleMania is the biggest one. I don't remember. Most people now have the network, so if you have the WWE network, which is only $10 a month, you get all the pay-per-views for free now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty sweet deal. But I don't know, probably $80. I think the other pay-per-views are 60, but WrestleMania was always more.
You should know because you chipped in, right? Help Burley out.
Why would I? He has the network. No one chipped in. To be fair, to be clear, no one last night chipped. I did used to. When he used to have to get them on pay-per-view, you'd pay $10 or we'd all pay whatever it was.
We know you just play pretty fast and loose with your cash, pretty open with tipping and so forth. So I just figured you contributed.
I am actually.
You
You're right.
offered though.
I am.
You
I
at
am,
least offered.
You're right. I am a good.
Maybe
I
took some beer over there or something, or picked up
Yeah, you
some
brought a
I
snacks.
bought my
case
own food.
Your own, yeah.
for yourself.
Yeah, like everyone did.
Brought
that
a
was
veggie
there.
tray to share.
No one did. A veggie
No
trade.
one did.
4 dudes watching a WrestleMania show. This is not like, dude, this is not the Super Bowl where it becomes like, the girlfriends are over and stuff.
No,
And
this is serious shit. You guys are
it's
concentrating.
just-
No commentary.
it's-
No commentary, right? You're just watching.
no,
or do you
there's definitely-
comment?
of course.
See, that would drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I got to see what.
Well,
the Rock does.
actually,
Just
what
shut up. I want to see The Rock.
What ended up happening was I was commenting, but talking, of course.
Of course.
And then about a year ago,
describing everything you observe.
just whatever. And I don't know, like a year, I don't know how this started, but when my friend had died and we were at I don't know how this started at the post-funeral meal, like at the house. The parents were kind of upstairs and some of the friends were more in the basement, I guess. And every time I started talking, people began to just boo me horrifically to the point where I couldn't talk. And that's the worst thing you could do to me is take my ability away to talk because I like talking a lot.
Yeah.
And so that got
So every time you open your mouth, they just boo.
Yes, as loud as they could. Yes.
Boo!
Yes.
Boo!
Yes.
Boo! How long did it take for you to stop?
He never did.
No.
I promise you,
I
he
did.
never did.
Boo! Boo!
Is that all we've had to do this whole time?
Damn it! That's his
He's learning.
kryptonite.
It's
That's his
horrible.
kryptonite.
See? It's horrible. I hate it when they do that to me because then I can't talk.
Interesting.
Oh, that's
It's
funny.
the worst thing you can do to me.
What I think Jay was alluding to when he was talking about when you said you brought your
I know what he was alluding to.
snack. No, here's the thing, Ian. It's no offense, but it seems like when we were 16, that's you go to a party and it's like everybody just brought. I got a 12-pack for me, and if you wouldn't even give a beer to a friend, it's
Hell
like,
no.
hey, go fuck yourself. Some
Right,
guy.
did you take my beer, you son of a bitch?
Yeah, but when by the time you're 38 or whatever, however old you are now, it just seems like, oh, he's hosting the thing. The gentlemanly thing to do is show up with a couple bags of chips, maybe a case of beer.
I would if there was a
12-pack.
party like that. They're not like that. Dude, it's just
You
not
didn't
like
call on the way and go, hey, anybody need anything?
no.
Yeah, can I grab something?
Mm.
Pizza's on me, gentlemen.
No, I didn't, and neither did anybody else. By the way, there was 3.
I know.
Other
I'm not
guys
saying your
there.
friends are right either. It just seems like at that age, it goes into a different realm, and maybe I'm off about
I'm
that.
telling you, if it was a Super Bowl party or if it was something where there was a lot more people that were kind of not involved.
When did that happen, by the way? When did that switch flip?
When
where
you
you
got-
go from like hoarding your get away from my beer.
By the way, I didn't
That's
hoard
my
my
Busch Light. It's mine. To hey guys, have one. When did that happen?
When
We
you
got
got an
paid?
actual job and had money instead
Right.
of like scraping together $3 in returnables.
Yeah. So
'Cause
after college.
It was common, like at Osterbeck, we'd have these parties there where you'd walk in with just like a bag of McDonald's. It was like, I got my cheeseburger and my
Right.
fries.
and you
my,
lick it all so nobody would take it.
that was Jay's move. Jay would walk in and people would go, Jay, hey, he's got fries and a burger. And he'd immediately open everything up and go, and lick everything.
Nice.
So
Good
nobody would
move.
want to touch it.
It's a good
There-
move.
I think there were a couple times where it was like, I
I'd
don't
still
care
eat
that
it.
you licked it. I'll still
Right.
eat it.
Yeah.
I would still eat it personally.
Yeah.
That's a good move. Most people wouldn't.
Jay was using that move at 15.
Yeah.
Right.
I learned that one at Gene's Hardware because those assholes, you'd go next door to the party store on your break and you'd buy like 2 Hostess pies and a pop or something.
Yeah.
You'd walk back, oh, what'd you get, dickhead? The managers, Glenn and Jeff, come sauntering up. Or Dwayne, Lane, Blaine, and Shane
Right.
would
right.
saunter up and want to grab your pie. And you'd be like, oh, you want some of my pie, huh? Yeah. You want some? Fuck you, man. Walk away. It's a
Yeah.
good move.
It is a good move when you're 15 or 16 years old, but I think once you get a few bucks, and
Yeah.
you just, I don't know when the exact date was, but it seems like by the time we were E's age, it was
Yeah.
like,
It's a, dude. If
Yeah,
I
It
Jay's
all
went to-
comes
whole
back
no,
around, man. It all evens out. You help a buddy out, man.
If I no, because it's not, dude. I get it, but that's not that kind of party. If I went to a New Year's party at this point, if I went to a Super Bowl party, I would bring stuff.
Have you ever?
Yes, that's
Mm.
great. I
Mm.
don't, whatever. I don't care what you think. I guess.
just asking. I no offense, E, but I can't see you bringing a veggie tray or a 7 layer dip
Of course, I don't bring.
to a party
Of course, I don't
in a
bring
case.
that. I bring something I just bought on the way. Obviously, whether it's a few $5 pizzas or whatever. But
Have
I'll
you
bring-
really done that? Have you picked up a
Yes.
few $5
Yes.
pizzas?
Yes.
E.
yes,
Did you have to be
Yes.
asked to do that?
no.
Mm,
I don't really care. Obviously, what you guys think.
he never
Fuck-
did it.
No.
You can
Okay.
tell.
I don't believe that. That's
that's
fine.
fine. I
I
don't
could be
care.
wrong. Jay could be wrong, but I
You are,
don't
but it's
believe.
fine.
I don't believe you on your own, of your own accord, went. You know what? That's really nice of these
I don't
fine
talk like
folks
that, so that's
to-
fine.
to throw a party. I'm going to pick up 4.
I don't
hot
believe a lot of the
readies.
shit that you you say shit all the time. I don't believe, but that's fine.
That's okay.
I don't. And it's okay that you don't believe me because I have, dude. I'm not gonna.
There's
sit
just
here and-
nothing in your background that would lead us to believe that that's something you would do.
dude. Whether I want to do it or not, or whether I do it and don't want to do it, doesn't mean I wouldn't just do it.
The one, well put. The one time I went out with him in the wild,
Yes.
he stiffed a bartender.
No, I didn't.
That's
No,
all I know. That's all I know.
No, I didn't.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, all you're saying is wrong. I didn't
Yeah.
sip a bartender. I sipped a concession stand manager.
Bartender, but whatever.
No,
Yeah, because the bartender wrote to
I'm not
us, so
gonna-
I knew it was a
okay,
bartender
okay,
because
I don't care.
we know with absolute certainty that it was a bartender because the bartender sent us your receipt.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
a picture of your receipt.
The concession
Zero
person
tip.
sent you a receipt.
Yeah, the
The
bartender.
person who worked at the concession.
The person who worked inside a three
Okay.
a th-
You know,
a three-sided
Jay-
bar
Jay
with
for
taps
Jay,
and
you
liquor
know what
behind
you do,
her.
you motherfucker. For Mr. That if Jay doesn't like a topic, he will get on and on me about moving on. I'm sick of talk. I don't want to talk about sports.
Yeah,
for
but
20
I'm
minutes.
the co-host here.
Yeah, well, you're being repetitive and it's being stupid. So
I was trying to give you a platform to
Wait, do we
discuss
need to
WrestleMania.
define our roles? Mike's the host.
That's fine,
I'm the
but
co-host.
that's fine,
And you're
but
the dickweed.
no. You talk about that. You just talked about Sean Belegian today, talking for 10 minutes about a topic that who cares about. We've been talking now for several days. It's about a topic that people are probably tired of hearing about. So
Well, we can take it to a vote. We
Fine,
can ask
go
people
ahead.
to email in and
I hope they fine. I'll talk for an hour.
See, here's the thing. Mike and I decide content of the show.
Okay, that's fine. I'll talk for 2 hours about how I don't tip. Fucking
we could talk about your upcoming venture out of the state.
Wow.
Would you rather talk about that, E?
I don't care. Whatever.
More to come.
Okay.
More to come on that.
No, the reason I was going into
I
WrestleMania
know
is they
why.
had a big fucking problem at the with the line going into the place.
Oh yeah, I didn't actually hear about this, but I've heard problems with Dallas.
Well, was
That
that
stadium.
AT&T Stadium? Apparently, they had a trouble with the ticket scanners. If you bought tickets and then like you do for concerts. I
Right.
hate nowadays where you don't get an actual ticket
I
stub. You
hate
get the
that so-
paper printout.
I hate that so much, dude.
Oh, it drives me nuts. I don't know why.
It's one of the
I'm a
reasons.
nerd, but I love collecting ticket
Yeah,
stubs. I know you
definitely.
do, Jay.
There's two reasons I will if I can, I will still drive to venues to get tickets. And that's one, to avoid Ticketmaster. You know, if you're buying 4 tickets and it's $9-10, sometimes more a ticket, you know, it's worth it to just drive there. And then you also, the other reason you mentioned, I like getting the stub.
Yeah, well,
If
people-
I can, sometimes you can't, but
they had a log jam and thousands of people were just outraged trying to get into the venue.
fucking
They stood in line for hours,
oh my God.
for literally hours, trying to get into this place.
We'll see they're wrestling.
Yeah, they were all pissed off.
I'd be fucking livid if that were me.
Twitter, people were all over Twitter because I guess the WWE sent out a tweet of the stadium like half empty,
Yeah.
like 5 or 4 in the afternoon before
Right.
the event started. Like, this place will be full soon. You know,
Well,
one of
and-
those overhead shots, and
Hey,
people are
oh.
stuck in line, going, "Fuck you! I can't get in. We'll never get in."
Well, here, real quick, just to honestly to be different than like the Super Bowl or some of these events. Like, I don't know when the Super Bowl opens up, you know, if it's 2 hours before the Super Bowl or 3 hours. But with wrestling, a lot of times with these, they will only open it like an hour before, like because they're still doing stuff with the set. That a lot of times that stuff there's a lot of last minute stuff. So it's not like you could tell people, well, dude, you should have got there earlier. This is WrestleMania. Sometimes you just can't. Like,
Yeah, well, I guess they all got in eventually, but
okay, yeah,
um,
eventually, but
people were all, "Fuck the scanners, just let us in," as if they can do that.
I know.
They were also tweeting, "Can't get in, not for another hour with your amateur hour crowd control. It's a total disaster. Problems at the AT&T stadium with Wi-Fi affecting ticket scanners. I mean, of course, any stadium named after AT&T has issues."
Oh, that's a shot.
Yeah, it is kind of a shot. By the way, Jay, I know you were curious about this. Zack Ryder ended up winning the ladder match over The Miz.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I know.
Dude,
you
the
were-
missed that,
Miz,
unfortunately.
wasn't he the guy on
Yes.
The Real World from
Yes.
was he
MTV?
really?
Yep.
New York Real World? I think it was.
I don't remember what year it was,
And at
but
that time,
he
the
had a
guy
fake
went
belt
on there, and it was just like this alter ego that he acted like
Yep.
on the show.
well, he was trying to be a wrestler.
What
Like on the
what
show.
Real
He had-
World was
I
that?
think it was New York.
I'd have
The second New York.
Second
not
New-
the,
okay,
yeah, the first
okay.
New York was the original, but New
Yeah.
York came about like 5 more in. I used to watch that shit all the time.
Yeah,
But I
you would have been
remember
in
this dude.
college then.
Yeah, I remember this dude, and he was just like this kind of wannabe, loved wrestling. He'd always do this, Miz, I'm the Miz.
And he's at WrestleMania.
He
13.
actually-
Actual wrestler.
He's got to be
He's
old
been a
as
title.
shit now.
Nah, not that old, probably.
What's his name again?
I don't know his like real name. He's 35. Michael Mizarine or I can't Mizine. I don't know how to. pronounce it.
35 seems old to be a
But
pro
he
wrestler.
he's on the end. He's not on an end of a career, but he's been in wrestling for about. I mean, he's been in wrestling or big
I mean,
time
what's
wrestling.
the
since-
life expectancy of a wrestler? Isn't it like 42?
Wow, man, that guy's huge compared to what he was in the real world. I literally
see.
haven't seen this guy for like 20 years. Remember that guy?
Yeah,
I mean, he's been in big time wrestling for a long time now,
he's
dude.
a big boy.
And he was also actually on Fear Factor, and that's when he found out he officially got his WWE contract. I remember watching that episode, and he left the Fear Factor. Like they did a thing like, well, this guy has to leave the show now, and the reason it was because he had to go get ready for WWE. Yeah,
Were you? What was the big fight of the night? The
I mean,
Undertaker,
yeah,
was that the deal? And
absolutely.
he won.
Look
absolutely.
at his wife, Maurice.
Jeez, must be nice, huh? Crazy.
I wonder how he landed
Bleach
her.
blonde. Yeah, it's just star-crossed lovers.
Personality. You know,
Yeah.
they just
Is that
a
what
lot
it
of
is?
Yeah.
common-
Love is blind, guys.
Right, they share a lot of in common. It's crazy that he's not with some 300-pound hog. I
It'd
don't
be
know.
nice-
It's just all
it'd
by
be-
chance, man.
It'd be nice if just once that's how it played out, where it's like he really married for love. He found this gross chick.
You know
that
what, dude?
Looks opposite, but it's just love. Here's a guy worth millions and millions of dollars, and he's with this trailer park idiot.
Every now and then you see those mismatched people. Like who was the
Ben Carson.
Oh yeah, Ben. Right. No, you see people who are somewhat famous or were famous at the time, and they end up like Matt Damon has a pretty ordinary chick.
Yeah, when
I
you
mean, not that she's ugly at all, but
yeah, but you the stereotypical like, oh, he's in a different class now,
Yeah.
so he marries up almost. Yeah, it's usually when someone marries their high school sweetheart.
Right.
John Bon Jovi did that.
Oh, really?
Married his high school girl.
I'm trying to think of the name. You guys wouldn't know who it is, but I always remember this from a reality show I used to watch, and God, I cannot think of his name right now, but he was one of the NASCAR drivers, and his wife was
Just
hideous, hideous. But they seemed to love each other. It was Rusty Wallace's fucking brother, and I cannot remember his name, but
something
Yeah.
Wallace.
yeah, something Wallace. I know.
I wonder if you could Google NASCAR Wallace wife.
I know. You're right. I could.
Maybe you could come up with some sort of search to plug into the Google machine. I don't know.
Yeah. Thank you. Wow. Very helpful.
Boo!
Very helpful.
Did you find it? Well,
No.
I want you to pull up something else, so we
Okay.
might have to come back to it.
Well, the point is, I very specifically remember his wife being like really
Really?
hideous, and I was just like, God damn, you're a NASCAR driver. I know you're not one of the big ones,
That's
but
so awful to say. That we're monsters. Some guy actually marries some chick because
Really
he
nice
actually
chick,
likes
yeah,
her.
I'm
And she's
sure.
a wonderful chick, and she's put on the weight. It just seems out of character for what you usually see. You usually see a chick like the Miz's wife, and it's like, of course he's married to that.
Yeah.
Of course he is.
Kenny Wallace. Maybe that's not. I don't know who I was thinking of anymore because I don't think it was Kenny Wallace. But it doesn't even matter. Just the point that it was a person that had money and fame and had an ugly wife.
Jay, you sent a video over.
Linda sent us this, so thank you to Linda. It's pretty funny, man. It's Ted Cruz and kind of some behind the scenes stuff, some footage of him making that video, which we played months ago. It was the Green Eggs and Ham.
Yeah, with him sitting on the couch with the fire going with his
just
family.
A funny take on Green Eggs and Ham. And
Yeah.
changed the words to criticize Congress and
Mhm.
government overall. And it's him like sitting on the couch with his wife and his two robot daughters. That's what really led to the cartoon coming out of the two monkey grinding daughters. Remember that?
Yes.
That was very early on in the campaign. Like,
Yeah.
we were barely talking about Cruz at the time.
Where he got all pissed. Wasn't he doing the whole like,
Don't
"Leave
bring my
kids out of-
family in this. Yeah,
Leave
they're out of
my-"
bounds.
Yeah, our children are out of bounds.
As I've put them into my
yeah.
commercial front and center, reading
Right.
Green Eggs and Ham.
And people were also took the angle of, would you put those children in monkey costumes if they were Obama's children? Remember they
Ooh,
tried to
that's
play the
right.
whole racial side of it.
Yes.
But this video comes out, and what's the story here? Like, if you've got like there are rules.
Yeah, it's explained a little bit on the video, and I don't know
Okay.
anything beyond that. But what they say is because super PACs are supposed to be arm's length from the candidates, which is
quote unquote
right,
arm's length.
the candidate can't like produce a video and send it to the super PAC for use in a commercial. According to this,
Right.
what they need to do is just produce raw footage and put it out there. So these guys
And then
apparently
anybody could pick it up.
anybody could. Hey, look at that!
Yeah,
it's
we
just out on
just-
our YouTube channel, and somebody picked it up and made a commercial out of it.
Yeah.
So this is, I guess, raw footage of that shoot with the Green Eggs and Ham thing and some other commercials he's done. So it's him and his family members, and it's just brutal.
It's just nerdy, typical Ted Cruz nerdy. But it's things like it's games like this that make people like us talk about when it's like, well, that super PAC did that. I have no control over the super PAC. If
That's
they
not
released
my
an
ad.
image of Donald Trump looking like an asshole, that's on them. I have no association. It's like, yeah, we all understand the way the rules are set up to keep you at arm's length from your super PAC. But when you're doing games like this, not really a game, but this is a way around the system, and it's long been known that if you got something that's a little underhanded or wouldn't be something for the mainstream, that the word is you ship it through to the super PAC and
Yeah.
let them be the bad guy. So it's why people don't typically believe politicians when it's like, oh, I have nothing to do with that.
They all have surrogates.
It's all shenanigans.
Tomfoolery.
It looks like the perfect presidential ad. American flags. A candidate with a compelling story and a family.
Get ready to
that
pause
looks
at
great in
points, E.
pastels.
We're fighting. for
Look
the
at this
world.
family. Look at, I hate white people.
And
I hate them.
Ooh.
It's somebody in the background coughing, and he's pissed.
Start looking at me, and he had a dream.
His mom.
And,
He enjoyed the most
There's Rafael Cruz.
working at MIT.
Earlier
Ooh.
this year, the Cruz campaign
Pause.
posted hours
Did
of
you
this.
see that look that try to be natural, like laugh,
Earlier this
Yeah.
year, the
laugh
Cruz campaign
moment,
Yeah.
and then as soon as someone coughed, he
at MIT.
shut it
Yeah,
down
he's like-
immediately?
Yes, guys.
Earlier,
Sorry, sort of pause right on that.
Yeah,
side.
No,
he's
that's
so
okay.
frustrated by somebody on set coughing. The look
Who-
on his face is like,
Who's this guy that keeps coughing during
I
takes
know.
too? That's kind of annoying.
remove
in his
yourself.
defense.
Look at these two little princesses.
In their perfect little bedroom.
Yeah.
Someone's dolled up for this shoot specifically.
Ready?
Yeah.
This year, the Cruz campaign posted hours of this
As if
footage
he's
on
ever
YouTube.
read to his
By
children.
law, campaigns can't coordinate with super PACs, so many quietly post raw videos like this on public websites as a way to share material
And then they're
legally.
red, white,
But it
and
lets
blue.
us take a rare peek behind the scenes at the strange world of political ad making.
Give me a couple lines from Green Eggs and Ham.
This is Heidi.
That's too personal.
She doesn't
to
know.
me. I don't want to tell that.
I do like it. I'll like it in a box. I'll like it in a goat. I'll like it.
Like it in a go. Oh, gross.
And you're the best person to tell that.
Well, there's some very personal details that I don't want to go into.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm Sam. I am. I'm Sam.
I'm Sam. Come
When
on,
Ted
Heidi.
was 3,
Look at me.
Well, I need the book if you want to give me specific.
That's
ones.
Ted giving
Not a
direction.
day
Now look
goes
at me.
by that my mom is not lifting me up in prayer.
Hey, what? Wait, can I go back on that?
What?
Yes.
Oh!
Day goes by. Look at me.
Well, I need the book. If
Look
you
at me.
give me specific ones. But
Not
Here
a
we go.
day goes by that my mom is not lifting me up in prayer
It's true.
for hours
For hours,
at a
sure.
time.
Our family has actually like made a difference and an impact in our country today.
Am I supposed to say like the same type?
my family background is that my grandfather was a
poor kids.
missionary in Africa for about 40 years.
I don't know what else to say.
I don't know. Just keep talking. Just keep talking.
I don't even know the guy.
Presently, my brother is a missionary in Haiti. Cut. Let's start that again. But the brother thinks too much. I can't get his gig done. He doesn't live there.
It seems like everything is staged, even hugs.
Hugs. I'm proud of you, Joey. I love you.
I love you too.
No. It's hugging family members.
Mom.
Love you too, dear.
One more hug.
In a political commercial,
This
the scene
family
would look
has
something like
never
this.
hugged.
No.
This family has never hugged
No.
or had a moment together.
Getting the shot of family mealtime took a lot of prayer.
Okay, so who wants to say grace? Okay, great.
Awesome. Would you like to hold hands with
Did
Sissy?
Heidi with her sweater around her neck.
Oh, I got
that's
fresh
good.
roses there.
Okay, good. Okay.
Good time.
Okay, Catherine.
Good.
What?
It's
It's the
inaudible.
worst prayer I've
Sorry.
ever heard.
What was
Okay,
that?
who wants
prayer?
to say grace?
Take two.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Good. You're better at this.
Dear Jesus, thank you for the food. Thank you for the day. Thank you for my family. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my puppy. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Nice job. Unlike your
Okay,
retard
let's say
sister.
grace.
Here we go. Take three.
Take three.
Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for this food. Thank you for our precious girls. Thank you for Catherine and Caroline. Bless
Kids are
this
talking
family.
off camera.
Thank you for those who prepared this meal. In Jesus' name.
For those who
What
prepared
did you do
it.
at school?
What did you do at school?
Well, today Miss Mayhew gave us candy.
Candy at school?
And for the ending, Cruz really wanted
That's
to get
outrageous.
I'm Ted Cruz, and I approve this message.
Take one.
I'm Ted Cruz, and
Two.
I approve this message.
Take two.
I'm Ted Cruz, and I approve this message. I'm Ted Cruz, and we approve this message.
Oh,
Okay, a little
that's
bit
cute.
faster. That was good.
Yeah, a little bit faster yet.
I'm Ted Cruz, and we approve this message. I'm
Mm.
Ted Cruz, and we
Take
approve
six.
this message.
Oh boy. Look at that look.
I'm Ted Cruz, and we approve this message.
Oh, take eight.
I'm Ted Cruz,
Take
and
nine.
we approve this message. I'm Ted Cruz, and we approve this message.
He so doesn't want those
I'm
kids doing it
Ted Cruz,
anymore.
No.
and we approve this message.
It's like someone want to take these things off my
I'm
lap.
Ted Cruz, and we approve this message. I'm Ted Cruz, and I approve this message.
Ah, see?
Yeah. Yeah, done with these kids.
I'm Ted Cruz, and I approve this message. I'm Ted Cruz, and I approve this message.
My God. My
God.
God. Robot.
Like that reminded me of like from back in the Michael Jordan with the Gatorade.
Oh yeah.
Is it in you?
You ever heard that, Jay?
No.
E.
Okay.
Some
Google
other
machine.
viral video I missed.
Yeah. Michael Jordan trying to do his Gatorade tagline. Is it in you? Is it in you? And he's trying to deliver that line.
Is it in you?
Yeah.
Is it in you?
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways to go there, Mike.
Yeah, but that's the problem with the Ted Cruz one is not just like bad acting. Like bad acting you can deal with. Michael Jordan is bad at, he just can't act. He's world-class athlete, whatever. Ted Cruz is trying to give the illusion, like they all do. This is not exclusive to Ted Cruz, obviously, but give the illusion of this loving family. This is just, but all these setup moments, like
now you hug me. Now hug me.
Now hug me. I'm so proud of you, Jason. giving this behemoth nephew he's probably never met a giant hug. Take two. Like, oh God. My mother sits and prays for me every day.
For hours.
As
he's squeezing her shoulder in
The-
a strange way.
And the mom even looks like, okay, is that what we need to say here? That I pray for hours a day for you, Ted? Really?
It's gross. Nothing, E.
Well, it's hard.
Really?
I can't.
You had 2 minutes.
No, I didn't. For one, and
Mm.
I mean, I can pull. I can't preview anything. So
Did you find anything?
YouTube, maybe?
yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, it's a good source for videos like
Oh, is
this.
it? Thank you.
Yeah. I'm
Appreciate
glad you're
the
there.
help. Yeah.
There's a search
I actually
box
am,
there.
but oh, is there?
You'd
Is
punch
that how
in
it works? How does it
Michael
work? Why don't you
Jordan.
show me how it works?
Why don't you find it?
I mean,
You're
geez.
such a dickweed.
No, I'm not a
yes,
dickweed.
No, you are.
You are. I'm not in a place where I can queue
You
up
are
audio.
literally a
ahead of-
dickweed.
No, I'm not.
Literally.
I'm not in a place where I can queue up audio. You want to show me how I can just preview an audio?
No, you can't. Just pull it up, though. You should be able to find
Okay,
this. No problem.
No, I can't, dude.
Should we take a quick breaky and try to find it in the break?
And speaking of YouTube videos, we'll have some news on a new YouTube video.
Yes.
Here, maybe this. I think this might be it. It says attempts to do this commercial.
There he is.
Ready? On action. Gatorade, is it in you? Gatorade, is it in you?
Is this Lord Vader? Or
Gatorade, is it in you? That's great.
Wait,
No.
Gatorade.
I gotta hear it.
It in you?
Right. Ready? Is it in you? Ready? Gatorade, is it in you?
Oof.
No, Michael.
Nope. Gatorade, is it in you? Gatorade, is it? Gatorade, is it in you?
Oh boy.
Nope.
Nope.
One more time.
Try the last way you just said it, just conversational. Gatorade, is it in you?
All right, ready? Gatorade, is it in you? Gatorade. Gatorade, is it in you? Gatorade. Gatorade, is it in you? Okay, ready? Gatorade, is it in you? No, don't like that.
Sure does a good job of throwing a ball.
Gatorade,
though.
is it in you?
Is it in you?
Gatorade, is it in you?
He jumps very high.
That is.
He had a couple great ones. I love the really the Gatorade one.
Did you love that? Did he have some good takes in there? Yeah, that video went around for a long time. Pre-viral video days. Anyway, let's take a quick break, and yeah, we will give you an update on a retards video. No offense.
Do you prefer retard over dickweed?
Yes, actually.
He doesn't like dickweed at all.
No, he doesn't.
All right, we'll be back in a moment.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hey, it's Steve Gabara from Zod Ford and Holly, the only dealership offering 2 for $252. Right now at Zod Ford, you get 2 brand new 16 Ford F-150 4x4 Super Cabs for just $252 with $1,000 due. That's 2 trucks for just 1 payment of $252. I'll say it again, lease 2 F-150s for just 1 payment of $252 per month. Hurry to Zod Ford and Holly, home of the 2 for $252, because leasing 2 trucks for the price of 1 can't last long.
Good for our announcements for
I
the
think
day?
so. It's a good tease.
I'm so excited.
I know.
I'm
I know. This is epic.
What's wrong?
Oh, he didn't turn on the microphone.
I fucking sat there and hit the.
You son of a bitch!
Fuck.
You son of a bitch!
Fuck. I sat there and I fucking swear I fucking hit those 2 buttons.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
You're recording, right, Mike?
Oh, I am.
Yeah, I'm talking into my microphone. You're talking into yours.
Dude, I get it. Dude, I get it. I swear to God, I remember very specifically knowing because I'd fucked this up last time. I swear I thought I hit those buttons, dude. Fuck. I'm sorry. Fuck.
So
people are going to have to listen to, because I'm not going to do that again. People are going to have to listen to the audio file to hear what just happened.
So it's a mouse click is what it is.
Yes.
Yeah. You go.
Yes.
You go. Click.
Yes.
Just a single mouse click. Is that it?
Yeah.
Like you take the mouse, you grab it in your hand, you move it over the play,
Dude,
and you go.
I know.
Click.
I sat here very specifically knowing what we were just about to talk about, and I swear I thought I did it.
Did it on
and
purpose. I understand why you would do that on
get it.
purpose.
No,
I get it. I get it.
No, I didn't.
You buried it.
Oh, yeah, which is the second time. I think last time he buried audio. This is a cunning son of a bitch.
Interesting.
Last week when he buried audio, we were discussing something else involving him too that he didn't want certain people to hear.
Hi, Miss Fady.
And so that
Hope you're
audio
well.
was
Hope you're well.
was what do you know? For the first time ever, was buried. So
no.
Did you do that on purpose, you son of a bitch?
No, in fact, I believe it or not, whether people want to believe it or not, I very much made an effort not to forget that this time, and I guess I must not have hit it hard enough because I absolutely went boom and then boom, and
it's a mouse click.
I know.
Just click.
Yeah.
Click.
Anyway.
No, I didn't do that.
Well, the audio still exists of what we were just discussing, so it'll encourage people
To
maybe
listen to
watching on the YouTube to listen to the file coming out of the break.
Fuck, dude.
Anyway, New York taxi cab drivers soon could face harsh fines and or possibly lose their license if they flirt or comment on their passengers' love life.
What? Huh?
Yes. The cleanup package is what they're calling this. It's proposed by the Taxi and Limo Commission, would create a highly specific definitions for sexual harassment and sexual contact for drivers. If the proposal is passed and a taxi for hire vehicle driver is found in violation, they could get their license revoked, absolutely revoked, and fines for touching or ejaculating on passengers.
Oh, there's not already fines for this? There's not already some system to take care of ejaculating on passengers?
Well, no, I know. I was shocked when I read that too. Which means that this has happened to somebody that they feel that they need to put this in the handbook. I mean, how do you explain that, by the way? If you go home and you know, you calm on a passenger, you know, it happens. And you get fined. I don't know what that fine would be. Say they fined you $500 for that, and you get home and your wife's like, why is your check $500 light this week?
Well,
and you're like, you're not gonna believe this, but I came on my passengers. I got a verbal warning last time, and I came on another passenger.
Oh God!
And now they docked me $500.
Was this a new labor contract coming up, like a union thing, and this is being added?
I guess.
And as you say, it must be chronic, or else this shit wouldn't be added to a contract.
Yeah. They also face a suspension for commenting on their passenger's appearance or even broach the subject of dating. Even what some would call innocent flirting is absolutely inappropriate, and no passenger should be subject to that environment. The goal is to make rules that have a broad interpretation, more specific for both passenger and driver. They've also talked about putting a panic button in the back seat where some guy just will not stop jacking it in the front seat or commenting about how sweet your titties look. You can just hit a panic button. I don't know if it ejects you from the car or what happens, but yeah, interesting. I don't know.
Cabbies flirting with what is the end game for this, right? Like that always perplexed me, these guys who pull up next to a chick and like stare at them and stuff. Like, what are you gonna get at, really?
Yeah.
999 times out of 100 out of 1,000 you're gonna get a chick glance over and go, what a loser, a loser.
But if you're just playing the numbers, it's like playing the lottery. If you're playing for that 1 in 1,000, when a chick's like, yeah, all right,
so
whatever,
you're that shameless, you're just hanging it out there as a cabbie just flirting and commenting and whipping your dick out, and you're thinking at some point somebody's gonna bite.
Yeah, I guess we know there are guys that do that who go to the bar and just go, hey, you want to have, and 99 times out of 100 they get slapped in the face.
999 times out of 1,000.
Okay, but they know on that 1,000th time or somewhere in that 1,000 tries, they're gonna get some chick that's like, yeah, and bang them, and they're willing to just pile up loose numbers like that for the chance.
I could see that at a bar though, but you're a cabbie, man. I mean, what are the slim chances that anybody goes for that shit?
It seems like a tall order, but it must work for some of them somewhere. I don't know. Do chicks face this? Maybe some of our listeners could email about this. Like, I've never gotten into a cab, had any conversation with a cabbie except for, where am I going? And you're like, take me home. I'm going here. And they're like, okay. And then they turn on their little machine and they drive. And that's it. Occasionally they'll get, oh, what about this weather we're having? And you're like, yeah, crazy. But it's the most bullshit conversation. Do chicks have to put up with this? Is this a common thing? Like, obviously Gab's not going to put up with it if you're in the car with her. Some guy's not going to openly hit on her. But if women just get into a cab and it's a good looking girl, is that a common thing where guys are just all over them?
A bunch of dirtbags who oogle and do all this shit like constantly. And again, like, what are the chances, man?
Yeah.
What are the chances?
Yeah.
You're a cabbie.
My biggest
I know, no offense to the cabbies.
My biggest one with this, I don't think we've talked about it before, is just the guys at the restaurants. Restaurants, whatever. Yeah, whatever. But that hit on, like, they hit on the waitresses, or they go to the same place every week, and I always have Danielle, and
yeah, and of course
she knows me.
Like, oh, hey,
right? She knows me. It's really funny, and it's like, and they tip, massive amount every time, just with this thought that
Gab was a bartender in college.
Yeah,
she has
I love that. I bet it was awesome for her.
All you have to do is smile and say hi, and they're like,
yeah. Well, I told you guys about the time I was at a bar or restaurant, and some guy walked up. A restaurant, and some guy walked up and handed the girl I was with his card and said, obviously you're here with this guy, but if things don't work out, and seriously handed like a card with his number and said, if things don't work out, obviously you guys have a great night.
So you got up and beat his ass.
And I was just, we were I mean, we're in a restaurant, just like, are you fucking
Mike,
kidding?
That was like him spitting in your face.
Did that really just happen?
I mean, him spitting in your face.
I think we both laughed in his face, but I wasn't going to get up and throw a chair at him. What am I going to do?
But it was spit upon. Do you agree? He was spit upon. He was
I think there's a lot of guys out there that would think of it like that and be like, go back off, bro. But honestly, I just I'd do what he would do. I'd just laugh about it and be like,
yeah, it was just kind of, it was so shocking in the moment that it was like, dude, like, I didn't even know how to react. It was like, I can't believe that just happened.
Yeah.
What would you do?
I had a similar situation a couple months ago where I was with Sarah and Gab, and we stopped at a gas station. So Gab got out to pump the gas. And I'm sitting in the driver's seat, and some dude that was pumping at another thing just started hitting on her.
Nice.
And I get out, I'm like, dude, what are you talking about, man? And
really?
Yeah, he's just being a dickhead.
Well, how was he? What do you mean? What was he like?
I don't remember how it went.
I'd like to know more.
Was he? So it was obvious that he was not coming on to her, but he was.
Yeah. No,
Well, yeah. If he's coming on to her right then,
he's gonna pick up
that's
a chick pumping gas.
Yeah.
Again, I guess it could happen anywhere. I guess you throw the line.
I don't know. That doesn't seem as crazy to me. Those kind of people though, like they're just what Mike described. They got a lot of self-confidence, and they don't mind getting shut down. That they'll just do it. They'll just do it.
I hated the like. I never really. I don't know. I hated the idea of like going in and like putting yourself on the line and having some chick go, yeah, get out of here. You're just like, oh,
yeah, you didn't play the numbers game.
I didn't know. I was never a numbers game guy. Never. So anyway, hopefully we can prevent all these rogue cabbies from coming on these women all the time. I mean,
gross.
Finally, they're doing something about this. A small fine, but whatever. We'll see if we can't stop a few of these guys at least. Make them think twice about coming on their passengers. That's horrible.
Oh,
poor ladies.
It actually exists.
I know. The other thing that exists, I was reading a story yesterday about these desperate women who want to have children, but they can't find a dude. They don't have a guy. They're not married. They don't have a boyfriend. And
have you heard of adoption?
Well, yeah, that's
I mean,
kind of, but
sorry,
they,
no offense. Like,
there's something about it. Most of them want to spit a kid out of their
I
vagine.
know.
They really do get into that for some reason. So
beautiful. It's the miracle of life.
They say there's this, a lot of these women are falling victim to this new threat in the troubling world of unregulated child conception or natural insemination. And so these sperm donors are like, yeah, you know, I'll give you the sperm, but I participate in natural insemination. In other words, they just want to.
I gotta bang you. I agree. I'm part of that too.
So they're talking about coercive sex, even rape at the hands of men posing as donors. Unregulated sperm donation websites claim to provide a legit, much-needed service introducing couples and single women to sources of seminal fluid, meeting a demand that licensed clinics cannot fulfill. But their critics say they're a magnet for sex predators who attack women too embarrassed or powerless to complain to the police. The Mail on Sunday was alerted to the problem in the case of a woman named Sarah, not Miss Titties, by the way, but just and they don't say her last name because she wants to protect her baby and her own identity. The kid's now 5 months old. Sarah became fixated on the idea of having a baby, but with no boyfriend, she turned to the private website Pollen Tree. And
gross.
Just sounds. So sites like Pollen Tree offer a very different route to pregnancy to the network of official clinics that are, you know, governed with strict rules. For those seeking artificial insemination, the licensed clinics maintain a register of donors, recording their real names and all that kind of shit. They kind of check out who is this dude. There is certainly no expectation of sexual intercourse. However, these unlicensed sites impose no requirement for donors to reveal their true identities, and almost all of them use fake names. Pollen Tree does ask donors to give an undertaking that they are, in fact, free of sexually transmitted diseases. But the owner, this former lawyer, Pat Harrison, said, there's no way of us enforcing that shit, which is nice. He said it would be futile to try to verify such claims. Documents could be faked. You could run up something on Photoshop. It was through Pollen Tree that Sarah, who was 19 at the time, 19-year-old girl.
She wants to be artificially inseminated at 19?
At 19.
She wants her egg fertilized.
Yes. We'll learn more about Sarah here, too. Sounds like no offense, Biggie, but the Biggie of the chick world. She found herself in contact with a man calling himself Pete Smith.
Sure.
Well, hello, Peter. Peter Smith, who, among other things, made the bizarre claim that he had been to spy school. I've been to spy school. And said he was a highly trained secret agent. Pete Smith. I can be gullible, Sarah said. I'm very easily led. So when he said he wanted to have sex naturally for me to get pregnant, I believed him. I like to see the good in people. It's only now that I can see that because I was willing to do almost anything to have a child, he took advantage of me. Oh, Sarah.
Why was he asking me to give him a blowjob? That's weird.
Sarah is now 21, but she looks much younger. It only takes minutes in her company to realize she is unusually naive, a classic symptom of the condition she was diagnosed with, which is a touch of the Asperger's.
Ooh.
Yeah.
She was tipped off to his fakery when he demanded anal sex.
Right. It makes her all the more susceptible to and more disgusting on Pete's end. Pete Smith should have known this, took full advantage. Sarah was never able to discover Smith's real name, where he lives, or what he did for a living. After several weeks of contact on the internet, Smith demanded nude pictures of Sarah. Once he called and I was having a shower, he told me to take a picture. At first, I thought it was uncomfortable, but I just wanted a baby, so I gave in. Now I think all he ever wanted was to bang me.
You think?
Poor Sarah. Why would you need to send nude pictures to Peter Smith? God damn it, Sarah. Come on. Sarah finally met Smith in December of 2014. He said he only did natural insemination. I didn't care, so we met and had sex in all about 12 times. We never went on a date anywhere, though once after we had sex in his car, he took me to McDonald's.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Pete. He's banging her in his car. God damn it. And she's going to birth a child that she's now responsible for going forward. I mean,
that's half Pete Smith.
This is a disaster across the board. At least he took her to McDonald's. She never learned his phone number. He would call me, but it always came up blocked. So she gets knocked up in March of this past year of 2015. There's compelling evidence that Sarah's experience is far from unique and may have been shared by thousands of women. In February, a social scientist, Claire McQuaid, set up the Sperm Donor Abuse Foundation, which will soon have a helpline for women like Sarah. She goes undercover on the internet and she's digging up all these stories of guys that are taking advantage of these chicks, coercion, finding themselves alone with men who said they were happy to donate sperm for artificial insemination, but then demanded natural insemination once the chick got there. Others demanded AI plus, artificial plus. So a sperm sample in a pot produced by sexual conduct. So yeah, I'll give you the sperm. We don't have to have sex, but you're going to blow me to get the sperm out. And then I'll just come into a cup and then you can take it from there.
I don't masturbate. I just don't.
Yeah. So that's AI plus. You can blow me to get it out, or you can jack me off to get it out, but artificial insemination plus. McQuaid said she liaised with 160 men, of whom 24 stated from the outset that they would only provide sperm with sex contact. Another 27 said initially they were happy to agree to AI, but changed their mind while McQuaid was still conversing with them online, saying after, as a matter of fact, actually, I want to bang them too. She met a further 79 men face-to-face who had insisted they were prepared to do AI and to do so without being paid. But once she met them, 15 requested immediate payment, which is illegal. One man demanded both NI and payment. So he wanted to bang her and get paid for it. Son of a bitch.
How much were they demanding? Does it say?
It doesn't say. Sums between, let's see, it looks like $100 and $400 per sample. It's not bad. It's a good gig if you can get it. Almost all others wanted some varying sexual contact. Out of 79 men, only 6 were prepared to honor their original agreement of artificial insemination without sexual conduct or money being exchanged. Laura Wichens, chief executive of the National Gamete Donation Trust, a government-funded charity that provides information on licensed regulated clinics, said that unfortunately experiences such as Sarah's were very common. I've dealt with lesbian couples who had never had sex with a man before but felt compelled to go along with it, who wanted a child so badly. 2 for 1, ladies.
I want a threesome.
They shut their eyes and pretended it wasn't happening. I've met a serial donor who calls the children he has fathered his kills. Many of these men are in it for the kicks. Even after she had her baby, Sarah's misery and abuse continued. Once she was pregnant from Smith, contact from him became super rare. He said he was on a submarine and could only send a message once a month when he came up for supplies. Oh, Pete. A few months after her son was born, he was back in touch and again demanding sex, claiming he read some tea leaves and knew Sarah was destined to have another baby with him. I will see you soon for a chat, cuddles, and high union intercourse. In the meantime, his spy job meant he had to be away, so Sarah should send him pics, please, sexy pics.
Jeez.
Yeah. Until last week, Pete Smith had not been on Pollen Tree for a while. Then he popped up again using a different name and email address, posing as a woman looking for semen. This chick contacted him first online, then by phone. He sent a photo, which Sarah identified as the father of a child. His story had changed. This time he said he was a doctor. His brother was the spy. But soon he was recommending NI and promising he would find the best sexual position to ensure that she had a girl. Oh, my God. I'm not surprised, but I'm disgusted, Sarah said. I just wish there was a way to stop him.
19-year-old Einstein.
Yeah, genius. Who, by the way, has had the kid and lives in her parents' basement with the child.
Way to go.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Isn't that just terrible?
Would either of you guys donate your sperm?
Nobody
really.
would want
Not
it.
really.
Who's going to want it?
No.
E?
No.
Um,
but I don't care. Not because I just wouldn't do it. Not because I have any moral obligation, or I just don't. I'm not going to take the time to go. I mean, because I know they always talk about like you can get paid. I guess.
What if you got paid $100 every time?
Yeah, go jack off in a room.
Yeah, I might do it for. But the problem is for $100 I might do it.
I know guys that's how they made their beer money all through college. I know a couple guys who did that, who went and jacked off multiple times a week and
Is that weird to you?
At that age, nah. I could see doing that.
I mean, you do buy into the fact that that's like your spooge and that whatever's birthed is like your DNA and all that.
So would you give plasma?
I've heard,
I'd give
that
plasma.
sucks, dude. I've heard that.
Yeah,
really
that's painful, but it pays more.
Yeah. Well, but when you say you guys did it through college, and maybe I know you can't prove it, and maybe they didn't used to have it, but I thought like when you did that, you couldn't like be having sex at the time or something, or like there was kind of strict rules
How
about
are
it.
they going to enforce
I
that?
don't. You're right. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't
thought
know.
there was just different rules to it or something, but I could be wrong.
I know, Jay, you think of it like
Oh.
this is your seed and a child is
Absolutely.
being born. Like to a lot of guys, it's like, yeah, whatever. They're going to pay
Never
me
did that.
$35 a nut. I'm going to throw it on the
Oh,
bed
man.
sheets. Otherwise, might as
Yeah.
well go in and collect $35 a pop. Why not?
I don't get that. I don't get how you don't go through the rest of your life though. Like, wow, there's like, my kids out there.
Yeah, well, I remember when we were younger. I remember people talking about doing this sort of thing, like, oh yeah, I donate, a sperm and collect beer money, and that's all they're thinking of is just a quick beer money. That's how they're feeding themselves or getting their drunk on. And it was always like, this is totally anonymous. There's no legal recourse to come back to you, but we're finding out that that's not necessarily
Suddenly you're hit
true.
with child support.
Yeah, I don't know that child support
Wasn't Shatner just hit with a paternity suit in like the $150 million range or some shit?
Was he?
I don't think it has anything to do with sperm donorship. But
Was
that
it his
just
wife
jumped to
or-
my mind. I don't know, man. Pull that up, E.
Um,
Shatner got whaled last week, I think, with a lawsuit.
and it gets tough because they used to fight about this, but like, oh, there's the donor has a right to privacy and isn't responsible for they sign away all rights to, but then there are other people that are like, that's not fair to the child. And the fact is, it's in the child's best interest to know like what kind of history this family has. If you've got heart problems in the family or cancer in the family. And so, yeah, some of these are, I don't know. It was just something when I was younger, you used to hear how anonymous it was. And that, I think that's a game changer if it's not totally anonymous.
That would be my only fear. Would be that I know what Jay's talking about. I really don't when I don't know. It just wouldn't faze me, the idea of the kid being out there. But I would be more worried about no matter what they say down the line if it would come back to haunt you as far as like you said.
Well, I just
It's a selfish concern.
What
I
is
just
the
think it's
deal?
wildly irresponsible.
Is the deal why people would go to these rogue places? Is it just about money? Is that all it is? Like it's expensive to get artificially inseminated?
I guess. I don't.
I mean,
I
it
think
has
it's
to
really
be something.
expensive,
Otherwise, why would Sarah go to some black market bullshit deal?
I think it's like thousands of dollars to do it, and then it's never guaranteed. Also, obviously, so you're spending all this money, right? Like,
Yeah,
because it's never guaranteed.
Yeah,
it's
weren't
gonna
you
work.
telling me it was like
Well, yeah,
tens
but
of
I don't.
thousands of dollars?
Yeah,
a friend of
a friend
yours
spent like $80,000 on something, but that's with
in vitro.
in vitro stuff, and I don't know what the difference is on all that, but.
Well, I think that there was a.
I mean, is there a
wasn't
difference between in vitro and just like a turkey baster and just like you come in like a drive-through and they just go and just shoot it in there?
You just General Washington it up if you're the chick.
Yeah.
You just get that leg up and
Hold on, spread them wider, and they just kind of spread them, and you just jam the turkey baster up there, and you just go. Now clinch. They just go clinch, and the girl just has to clinch for 5 minutes,
Kegel,
and then it
Kegel,
takes Kegel.
lay on your back.
I think that's how
hips
they
up.
do it. Mm-hmm. Or you can put them in the back seat, and you could drive through, and then they just pull up to the window, kind of like they're in stirrups.
Isn't in vitro they actually take the egg and the sperm out and they inseminate and then they re-inject it in her? Not
Yes.
inject it, but replace it in her.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I think you're using two people who are flawed in some way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not sorry.
Man,
but-
it looks like artificial insemination only costs between $300 and $500. Not that that's cheap, but that's not.
Yeah.
But I don't know if those are maybe that's less chances than.
But
in
natural
vitro.
insemination costs nothing.
Right?
Nothing.
That's
And it's
absolutely free.
Pretty fun
so
too.
if you can't afford the $300 or $500,
Would you do it, Mike? Would you give your
Not
give your spooge?
now. Not
All right,
now.
back in the day, would you have done that?
Yeah, I wouldn't have had the hangups that you would. Like it's a creation of light. Like I wouldn't have given a fuck about that. I wouldn't have cared about that. But I would have for beer money. Yeah, probably. I never did, but yeah, I wouldn't have had a hang up like morally about it. Like you would have. You would have morally had a hang up about it, which I understand.
Yeah,
yours is probably world class too. I mean, you've been holding out on chicks. You've got world class guys in there.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna want what Big E and I are serving up.
Right. Well, the only way
Find us in the $2 rack at Kmart.
Well, doesn't that speak volumes out of the three of us? That's the one who would totally do that without any qualms. So that's what you're getting.
Wait a
at
minute,
least,
that's not what I
typically.
did. I said I did have one qualm about it, and Mike also said that he would. So what do you mean that out of the three of us?
My point is, you're the one, man. This is what you're getting out
No,
there,
but that-
ladies.
But Mike just said he would have
They
done
may
it.
brush it up. They might put a nice bow on it, but that's what you're getting.
Yeah. Well, I
It's
think
going to come
they're
out squawking. It's
Yeah,
not
Mike
going to
said he would've
cry.
done it
It's just
too.
going to go.
Yeah, I would too. Anyway,
Got to mention the Amazon link real quick, Miguel. We haven't done
Please
that in a
do,
while.
yeah.
Please continue to use the Amazon link at DetroitCast.com.
And thank you to everybody that's been using it. It's been really helpful to have everybody use that every month. So
Very
continue to do
nice.
so.
$170 million lawsuit, by the way.
Yeah, against
Possibly.
Shatner. What's the deal? Is it just a kid that a love child of the past?
Some radio host in Florida
Oh,
claims
boy.
to be the star's father.
So it's a
I could see
publicity
that.
stunt.
You could see that radio host when they're bouncing around the country away from family, and
He was given up for. I'd have to look more into this, but yeah, I don't know if but he's suing him for $170 million. I'm sure he won't get that. Maybe he will. I don't know.
Any mom of note? Like, is it just some rando that he was?
He was given up for
wailing on?
adoption shortly after birth. Started seeking his birth parents. Identified people he believed to be his mother and
Imagine
father.
that William Shatner.
yeah, as your dad. Yeah,
It says that over the months that followed through the process of research and verification, Peter was able to identify his birth father as Canadian-born William Shatner.
So how old is this kid now?
What's that? 1984. So I mean, that would be my 32 if it says shortly after birth. So that would be my 32 years old.
God, what a lucky break to find out.
Yeah,
Bill Shatner's your old man.
He might not get if it's true, right? He might not get 170, but he's gonna get something.
Yeah,
That'd be
probably.
Great, dude.
Hell yeah.
Good news out of Florida.
How we doing on email, Jay?
Here's some email.
What do we got?
Well, before we get to that email, we have to mention our buddy Merck. Does your money work as hard as you do? You will spend upwards of 45 years working to support your lifestyle, provide for your family, and set aside money for retirement. Let Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial help to make sure your money is working as hard as you are. Call today and tell him you're a friend of the show for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation, 248-626-2000, and ask for Mark. E, would you like to add anything?
If I could. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. Thank you.
You know, it's been a while since we talked to E about texting and driving and the dangers thereof. But we have listener, forgive me. Nick writes in, King, court jester, and village idiot. I am hoping this will help change Big E's view on texting and driving. I drive a semi hauling gasoline. On April 2nd, around 2 a.m., I was driving down Middleboat Road in Romulus near the airport. So I was going through the light. An idiot that was texting while driving was paying more attention to his phone than the road and ran a red light. Hit the back of my tractor doing about 35, which caused my tractor trailer to jackknife. I've attached the photos so Big E can hopefully realize that he can wait till he's home to send that dick pic to TCG. This guy got lucky and walked away from the scene with nothing but a sore. Look at that, man. Just cranks the whole front. Dude, you imagine looking up at the last second and seeing the back end of a tanker?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
That'd scare you.
Yep.
So they're texting and driving. E?
I don't do it
Nearly as much as you used to?
Nearly as much as I used to.
But
I
you're
will
still
say
doing
that. It's rare, but I.
Are you going to stop?
That sounds as bad as drunk driving. Like, I
Yeah,
don't do it as much
probably.
as I used to, but
Are you going to stop before you're like, I'm not going to stop. I don't care. I don't care what happens. Have we changed our views? Have we matured at all over the last 2 years?
yeah.
I've probably realized that I shouldn't be doing it. And like I said, I would say it's down 80 to 85%. A lot of that, as I told you, really came along with Pandora, because now I just set I hook up my Pandora up, I set it on the seat, and I just kind of cruise. So
Pandora's
Pandora
saving
really-
lives.
It did help. Pandora was a big help in that aspect.
Amy writes in, hey guys, winky face. I know I'm a week or so late with weighing in on Big E not tipping at the Palace, but I don't think I heard anyone email in and mention the very stark difference in purchasing a beer from the stand where you can get your pretzels and hot dogs and the bar in the atrium where you guys got your drinks. Most of the time, the people who are working the stands that sell the hot dogs and pretzels are volunteers from one organization or another that are working those stands for a fundraiser. I remember many times growing up for dance, a bunch of dance moms working a concession booth at the Palace for a sporting event or concert. You'll notice if you pay with a credit card at one of those concession stands, there's not a line to leave a tip because the people working are volunteers and get a portion of the proceeds from that booth as their payment. The poor lady you stiffed out of a tip at the bar in the atrium is likely an employee of the Palace Entertainment getting her shitty paycheck from them and relies on her tips from paying customers. Ooh. Just a thought.
Ooh.
Love you guys. Until next time.
Winky base. All I can say is fine. Whatever everyone wants to think, that's fine. I'm never going to those again. Then I will always go to, and that way I'll be helping those people out anyway. I'll be helping the volunteers out by buying it there as opposed to the other place anyway. So it's fine.
You'll be helping those groups, you mean, of dance moms and so forth?
Sure, why not?
Mm.
I don't.
He's always been a big supporter of dance groups.
I am.
By the way, in vitro is where they take out mature eggs. They collect them, retrieve them from your ovaries, and fertilize them by sperm in a lab.
See, all my eggs would be immature.
Yeah,
so they wouldn't want them.
Right.
If I had eggs.
My eggs.
Joe writes
My
in
eggs.
concerning the penis pose we were discussing yesterday, kind of talking about the dick pic and what's the best pose. What would you do? Would you do the Sasquatch? Would you do the General Washington?
Mm-hmm.
The sit on the stool, I think, was a great one.
Yeah.
He points out the Captain Morgan.
The Captain Morgan. Yeah, which is kind of like.
It's very much like the General Washington.
Yeah, it's a mix between Sasquatch and General Washington.
Yeah, there's some movement to it. Got the leg up a bit.
Mhm. Very proud, statured gentleman, chin up.
Yeah, very proud. You're right.
Yeah, gandering off into the
Looking
distance.
a far land host sort of thing.
Sure.
What about the Fonz? Would the Fonz work? Hey. Fonz might work.
Yeah, Fonz might work.
If you have a big
Collar up,
rager.
leather jacket with you'd have to have a rager. You'd want to be fully aroused if you're doing the hey, look at this.
The Fonz. Dan writes in regarding portable breathalyzer tests. We talked about this yesterday, right?
Yeah.
The results are not admissible in court like field sobriety tests and blood and data master breath tests, the large machine at the station or jail. So you guys were talking about the fact
Why
that,
would you just not go right to the breathalyzer is what my question
well,
was.
you were saying, and I didn't realize this, cops now have portable breathalyzers in their car.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I just remember the field sobriety, and then you go back to the station and you got to blow.
Oh yeah. Troy, when we got pulled over one night, they actually they give you it's a plastic tip that obviously they take off and they put a new plastic one on for the next guy to blow into the machine. And Troy got to keep his. Do you remember that when he wore it around as a necklace for like a year?
Oh boy.
Yeah. The cop gave him his breathalyzer
I didn't get
thing.
to keep the time the time
Oh,
I
we
did
failed
it.
that
Yeah.
one too. Different day and time, folks.
Dan continues. Also, refusing a blood draw or data master breath test gets you a mandatory 6-month suspension on your driver's license. So that usually is not the best way to go unless you don't need to drive for work or something.
Well, no, but what you were saying is not do the blood draw.
You're saying
but
don't do the field thing.
because then the longer you wait, the
Yeah.
hope is that you're not as drunk.
I think
by
that's
then.
the play. Everybody says that, like, make them draw your blood. Isn't that
Yeah.
what Gorsuch told us?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
is
don't
what he said.
remember.
I think the problem, that's what he said. I guess that night I just didn't. When it happened to me, this was like I said, the story I told. I knew I'd only had 2 beers, I guess, and I just didn't. I don't know. Maybe I should have done that, but I didn't, and whatever. But I passed anyway. I had a 0.0, so
Yeah, barely passed it. Huh? J. Mike and Krusty Ass Crack. Here's Dave writing in about the poo flakes at the gym. It's unfortunate. What if you hooked up with a chick and when she drops her underwear and you see flakes fall out? What would you do? It's cool, right? I mean, you do it, so it's okay. E, what if that happens?
I don't know, dude. I don't know what he wants from me in that answer. I haven't hooked up with a chick since like last Labor Day or Memorial Day.
All right,
So I don't know what you're.
Let's picture the chick you found on Tinder. You go over to her house, you cuddle. She takes off her drawers and poo flakes fall out
Okay, I
into
don't
that
know,
bed.
dude.
Yeah, that's a bummer, but
Yeah.
you'd still follow.
Do you
through.
plow forward?
Probably still follow through.
Yeah, he
at
does.
that point.
Sure.
I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I don't know what he. I just don't get what he wants from me. Okay, yeah, I get it. You know, sure, I'd still bang the dirty whore. What do you want, dude?
Yeah.
We'll save the rest for tomorrow, Mike.
Okay. All right. Well, let's call it a day there then. Anything we need to mention coming up?
I think we'll mention that tomorrow E promises to turn the audio back on.
Good.
For anyone watching via YouTube. Righty? You promise to do that?
Yes.
For the record?
Sure. Yes. I'm very embarrassed by yet another mistake. Yes.
Something to look forward to. All right, folks. Have a great day. We'll do it again tomorrow. We'll see you then.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.
Listen to the guy, watch